Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hi, you guys.
So, guys, there's a lot going on, obviously. When I looked at this today, it was like, you gotta be kidding me, 166 in this area? What a swarm we have going on. We talked about this yesterday, and, it's increasing. There are a lot of small quakes, and what we're looking at here, you can see the area that we're looking at, and we are, as you can see here, in the edge of the Sierras here. And so we're southwest of Hawthorne, which is a military installation. There's a lot of stuff stored there. You know, we always talk about, what's real and what's not real as far as quakes and things like that. Because when we look at a lot of military bases, which, you could look over here and say, oh, wow, look at the quakes. No, these are probably bombing runs going on. And so this is a 1.3. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens on these bases. Of course, this is the Nevada National Security Site and, the famous home of Area 51, Area 6. And then up higher over here, you have Tonopah, and there's been top secret aircraft filmed here as well. So when we're looking at this, is it bombing runs? I see over here. Usually, there's a few. So I do think that this is where they test out some weapons. But also, we could have other things going on, such as blasting in the bases. And of course, Ridgecrest is right here, and there's always stuff going on here. We heard the line of thinking before that, the big quake at Ridgecrest was perhaps, earthquake weaponry from China attacking the U.S. And then we've also heard, no, it's the white hats deep down fighting against the dark hats, and they're rounding up the pedophiles and things like that. So, and then we've also heard the line of thinking that it's draconians against our soldiers down there. So we've heard all that. And then people have thought that this is perhaps a supervolcano forming. Because we do, when we talked about Mammoth Lakes over here, and this that you're looking at right there, that's actually a caldera, of a supervolcano. So just to the north of this, we have a massive swarm ongoing now. We've seen swarms. There's been swarms between Goldfield and Tonopah over through this area that have been popping up. And, I don't know if it's something going on as far as, deep underground military bases, or if this is really quake related. We have had swarms over around Carson City and Reno. And of course, we had the Utah quake, and then tons of swarms. There's nothing there right now. So interesting how that has quieted down. We still see swarming going on over here. We have 16 quakes in the area where we had that big one in Idaho. So this is still active. Salt Lake City area has quieted, and now all of a sudden we have this going on over here. And we do see some swarming going on by the geysers. Yeah, there's 23 in this area. But that we've seen that. What we haven't seen is 166 in this area. This is a lot. Impressions, Cindy.
Well, I'm getting like earth impressions. I'm trying to listen to my body, and my solar plexus is just not feeling very well right now. And I think a lot of empaths might be feeling uneasy. Like when you pay attention to this and watch it, it's more of a earth change thing.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's very curious. This is in a big area. When we start looking at here and connecting it to the swarming we saw over in Salt Lake, and then going all the way up to Idaho with the swarming, this is a big area. And it makes me feel like there's something really big in progress and building. And where is this going to manifest? Right now, if we're trying to think about pressures, The pressure that was here has disappeared now, or is it building again? I don't know. Now you have this being so active. I'm wondering. I mean, is Cascadia building? I have always felt it'll be Cascadia first, and I've actually had dreams and visions of that, of a 1-2, where it is the big Cascadia one, and very shortly thereafter San Andreas goes. Of course, we are hoping and praying for these earth changes to be as much as Mother Earth needs to release the energy, but as minimal damaging as possible. And if we did have a super volcano go, like a Yellowstone, or down here, these would be game changers, and the likelihood of basically, the equivalent of a nuclear winter setting in would be very high. It would most definitely affect us in so many ways. When we look at, I was looking at CSEM as well. We keep seeing these odd little ones, like this is up in Maine. There are some odd ones going on. There was a big 6.1, which hit over here, and this is the Mid-Indian Ridge. So that's a pretty good size one, as you see here. And this one's shallow, 6.2 mile depth. And we've had so much volcanic activity now. In that Krakatoa, ash went up to 47,000 feet. In Chevlush, 33,000 feet. When we look over here, this is out of Volcano Discovery. You see Mount Popo is going, ash to 20,000 feet. Volcanoes today: Fuego, Popo, Krakatoa, Semeru, Dacono, Reventador, Sangue, Sakurajima. It's active. It is active, and it feels like something big is really in the works. Where? That's a good question. But the Western U.S., when we looked at those Earth change maps, it undergoes a big change for sure if those maps are right.
Yeah, the other impressions I get is there's something kind of moving, like quivering down in the earth, and maybe that's just the magma. So yeah.
And then there's so many people that believe that Nibiru and Planet X are here. We saw that weird energetic outburst signature, with the magnetosphere, which Ben over at Suspicious Observers came out and seemed to try to just say, hey, it's just a glitch. Like he was really downplaying its significance and even ridiculing people for using the GOES, which I've seen people use the GOES for years. So it was kind of strange. But I think a lot of people are feeling something is out there that is interfering with things gravitationally, electromagnetically.
I do, yeah, I mean, it could be a reaction to an action, if you want to look at it that way too.
And then we got the comet, which now we're not really getting any info on. It's like they were, the last thing they put out was that it's breaking up. It's going to be a non-event. And when we go and we search looking for some new info, we're not really seeing it. So is it really breaking up or is it not breaking up? What's really going on? And at least at one point in time, when we were watching that strange magnetic anomaly that Planet X News and Wages World were covering, they were talking about the way that the energy was flowing coming in from above, which got me thinking of the comet. And, everything, it's an electric universe, so everything interacts with everything else. And so is there, some sort of pressure, some sort of tension that the comet is creating as well, perhaps electromagnetically interacting with the Earth?
Yeah, that's another thing. It does feel very earthy though, like she's reacting to something externally. That could be what's going on. But I'm curious if anyone has heard anything about the comet, or if any of you can see the comet where you're at. I'm really curious about that comet. Why did it just, the information just dropped off the face of the earth? No pun intended.
Yeah. So, this is a massive swarm. Not huge quakes, but a massive swarm. So I'm very, very curious about this and kind of wondering what is going to happen. So, guys, we live in interesting times to say the least. As we have been sharing with you guys, do your preps as best you can. Obviously, half the world is in lockdown, maybe more than half the world right now. So many people are limited in what you can do. But intention, prayers, meditation, very powerful tools. Never underestimate that, because this is this is a universe that reacts to our intention. So, we must put out that positive energy and help Mother Earth get through these times as well. We are supposed to be in a symbiotic relationship with her. And unfortunately, there are those in control and power that seem to want the exact opposite. That want to create conditions where we are affecting the planet in a negative way, almost as if then the karmic return will come back and slap us in the face. It does feel at times that is part of the whole plan, unfortunately. So let's send our healing energy into the earth itself as well, to hopefully mitigate whatever is coming and make it more manageable, because it does feel like there is something building here.
Yeah, it does, so just getting prepared, mind, body, spirit, and then physically as best you can. That's the best thing to do right now.
Most definitely. So guys, look forward to your comments on this. Stay prepared. Thank you for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon, keeping us going, enabling us to do this. As always, guys, God bless and namaste.
God bless and namaste.